The scariest person in any room is never the loud one. It's not the person yelling. It's not the person threatening. It's not the person losing control. It's the person who doesn't flinch. The one who stays calm when disrespected. The one who doesn't react when provoked. The one who watches, listens, and thinks before they move. Because calmness is not weakness. It's control. And in the next few minutes, you're going to learn why truly dangerous people look calm on the surface and how you can develop that same untouchable presence. First, let's define what we're actually talking about. When I say dangerous, I don't mean violent or harmful. I mean formidable, powerful, not to be underestimated. The unbothered persona is someone who has mastered emotional regulation. They feel everything, anger, hurt, frustration, but they don't let those emotions control them. Carl Jung, the famous psychologist, called this emotional containment. It's the ability to hold intense emotions without immediately discharging them. You don't suppress them. You don't ignore them. You contain them while you decide what to do next. And here's why that's so powerful. Most people are reactive. You insult them, they snap back immediately. You disrespect them, they escalate. You provoke them, they lose composure. And the moment someone reacts emotionally, they become predictable. You know exactly how to push their buttons. You know what triggers them. You know they'll burn energy defending their ego. But the calm person? They give you nothing. No tells. No emotional leaks. No reactions to decode. And that creates something psychologists call uncertainty. The human brain craves predictability. We want to know where people stand. We want to read their emotions so we can predict their next move. But when someone stays completely calm, you can't read them. And what we can't read, we fear. That's why truly calm people feel powerful. They control the emotional energy in the room simply by refusing to participate in the chaos. Now, let's talk about why calmness is so intimidating. When you remain calm during conflict, you're sending a psychological message. You cannot control me. Think about it. If someone insults you and you explode, they win. Because they just proved they can control your emotional state with a few words. But if someone insults you and you just look at them calmly, maybe raise an eyebrow, maybe say nothing at all, they lose all leverage. Because now they're the ones reacting. They're the ones escalating. They're the ones looking emotionally unstable. And you're just standing there, unbothered. This flips the power dynamic instantly. Here's the dark psychology behind it. When you stay calm, you force the other person to keep escalating. They raise their voice. You stay quiet. They insult you harder. You don't react. They try guilt, shame, threats. You just observe. And eventually, they run out of ammunition. Because all their tactics depend on you breaking. And if you don't break, they have nothing left. Manipulators hate calm people for this exact reason. They thrive on chaos, emotional reactions, and rushed decisions. But a calm person slows the game down. They pause. They think. They respond strategically instead of emotionally. And when you slow the game down, manipulation fails. Let's go deeper into the strategic side of calmness. Here's the equation. Reactivity equals exposure. Calmness equals control. The more reactive you are, the more predictable you become. And when you're predictable, you're easy to manipulate, provoke, and defeat. But the calm person is unpredictable. You don't know what they're thinking. You don't know when they'll act. You don't know if they're analysing you, planning their response, or simply unbothered. And that unpredictability makes them extremely difficult to confront or control. Let me give you a real-world example. Someone disrespects you publicly. The reactive response: defend yourself immediately, argue back, try to win the crowd. The calm response: pause, look at them directly without emotion, then calmly say, "Noted," and walk away. Which one looks more powerful? The person who got triggered and defensive? Or the person who treated disrespect like background noise? The second one, because they didn't need to prove anything. Strategic calmness also gives you time. When you don't react immediately, you can. Observe the situation fully. Understand the other person's motives. Choose your response deliberately instead of emotionally. This is what the Stoics practiced for centuries. They didn't say, "Don't feel emotions." They said, "Pause between the emotion and the response." Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." When you control your reaction, you control the frame. The frame is the psychological context of the interaction. If you stay calm, you set the tone. Everyone else adjusts to your energy, not the other way around. That's real power. One of the most dangerous aspects of calm people is how they set boundaries. They don't argue. They don't explain. They don't justify. They just stop engaging. This is called strategic disengagement. Most people set boundaries with words. "Don't talk to me like that. I won't tolerate this. You need to respect me." But words without action are meaningless. Calm people set boundaries with behavior. You disrespect them, they stop responding. You try to manipulate them, they remove access. You escalate emotionally, they walk away without a word. And because they don't explain or justify, there's nothing to argue against. You can't guilt someone who doesn't engage with guilt. You can't pressure someone who's comfortable with silence. You can't manipulate someone who doesn't need your approval. This is what makes calm people so frustrating to toxic individuals. Toxic people expect emotional reactions. They expect defensiveness, explanation, compliance. But when they get nothing, when the calm person just exists without reacting, it completely disarms them. The calm person's presence becomes a mirror that reflects the toxic person's own instability. And that's unbearable for them. So how do you actually develop this level of emotional control? The Stoics had a 3-step process. Pause, observe, choose. Let me break it down. Step 1. Pause. When something triggers you, don't react immediately. Take a breath. Count to 3. Create space between the trigger and your response. This pause is where your power lives. Step 2. Observe. Watch your emotion without acting on it. I'm feeling angry right now. I notice my chest is tight. I want to defend myself. By observing, you create distance between you and the emotion. You're no longer in the anger. You're watching the anger. That shift changes everything. Step 3. Choose. Now that you've paused and observed, you can choose your response strategically. Ask yourself, will reacting help or hurt me? Does this person deserve my energy? What response serves my long-term goals? This is rational thinking, replacing emotional reaction. The Stoics called this the dichotomy of control. You can't control what people say or do, but you can control how you respond. And when you choose your response deliberately instead of emotionally, you become untouchable. One more thing. Silence is your most powerful weapon. The Stoics used silence to avoid saying words they'd regret, calm their emotions, regain control, observe reality clearly, rise above petty conflicts. When you master silence, you master the room. You were never supposed to be the loudest person in the room. You were supposed to be the calmest. Because calmness is not passivity. It's not weakness. It's not indifference. It's strategy. When you stay calm, while others lose control, you hold all the power. You're unpredictable. You're unshakable. You're untouchable. So the next time someone disrespects you, tests you, or tries to provoke you, pause. Observe. Choose. And watch how your silence becomes the loudest thing in the room. If this changed how you see calmness, watch my next video about the dark psychology of emotional detachment and why people who don't give a F times CK hold all the cards. True strength doesn't seek attention. It controls it.